Hi, this is Cordelia Blake. Today's video for Amazon 101 is on starting selling on Amazon in 2019 and 2020. The first thing I'm going to say is there's a lot of great training out there, which is old. So to be blunt, even training from 2 or 3 years ago now is kind of out of date. So if you're watching YouTube videos or reading even books you buy off Amazon, make sure that the publication date is at least in 2019, no later than 2018, because things are changing all the time and it's a lot harder business now than it used to be. Now, having said that, it's still a good business opportunity. It's just not the same opportunity it was 5 years ago. So let's dive right in. So one thing that a lot of sellers talk about is a business model based on something called arbitrage. Arbitrage is where you buy something and resell it on Amazon. So you buy a brand new thing, either at like Walmart or Walgreens or wherever, for whatever price you pay, and then you clean it up, take the label off, send it in as a new item, and sell it on Amazon. Now, when I first started selling on Amazon, this was awesome. I used to be able to walk into Walgreens, spend $500, and then send that stuff into Amazon and double that, turn that $500 into $1,000. And that was after, including paying for fees. So you can't do that anymore. It's a lot harder. The fees are higher than they were then. And the price differences, there's a lot more competition on things that are easily found at Walgreens than there was. And a lot of more brands are managing their e-commerce strategy. And so they're paying attention to sellers and pricing on different platforms way more than they were then. So you can still do arbitrage. I know a lot of people who do it. I do it myself to a very limited extent. But it's a much tougher business and your returns are generally not as high. So what I think about arbitrage for people who are getting started is that it's a really good way to learn how to sell products online. It's relatively low investment. You're not having to buy 100 units of the same thing. You're just buying 1 or 2 that you find a good deal on. And it's a pretty good way to basically learn the business of selling on Amazon. So for that, I think you cannot beat arbitrage even now. If you're thinking about going into private label where you want to go spend $3,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 on a product that you're importing from another country or even one having made here, it's really a good idea to go out and spend $500 on stuff, scan it, learn how to do arbitrage, send it in, try to sell it, reprice it, all that stuff. It really teaches you a lot about the business. So notice none of that was about profit. So I think there are still people that are making profit on arbitrage. I know for a fact there are. Many of them have been around for a long time, which means they have permission to sell products that new sellers don't get permission to sell. They understand the business a lot more. They have processes in place to kind of deal with all the new challenges that are in the market. So not to say that you can't get there, but arbitrage is just becoming harder. A lot more brands are cracking down. Today, you might be able to sell something. Tomorrow, you might not be able to sell that exact same thing. So use arbitrage as a tool to help you learn the business. And if you're making money at it, use it as a short-term hustle. It's still a great way to just grow your money. But it's not a long-term business strategy anymore. You can't, go in and be like, okay, well, I'm making this much money from arbitrage today. So that means in a year, I can double that. It's just not like that anymore. So just go in kind of with your eyes wide open and you'll do better. So that's arbitrage. The other thing that is different now is that really with the business of selling on Amazon, you need to assume that you have to reinvest pretty much all your profits for at least a year, which means that if you want to get a paycheck, that selling on Amazon is not the best place to do that anymore. It's much more of like a real business where you have to reinvest, you have to learn new things, you have to grow. And so I think that whatever your starting budget is, whether it's 500 or 5,000 or 50,000, you set that up, you do it, and you don't add to it. You just grow it through its own, through the business and learn how to do the business. So if you need like a paycheck, starting an Amazon business today is just not the way to get cash in the door. It's a great way to build a business that you can turn into something more profitable in a year or 2 years or 3 years. Okay, understand what you do for short-term profit versus long-term profit. So some of the things you can do today, like maybe you found a great product at Walgreens or Walmart that is selling. Understand if you're selling on Amazon, that is a short-term hustle. That is a great way to get some cash in the door today. But even in 6 weeks, let alone 6 months, that same product is not going to be profitable for you anymore. And so just understand that what you're doing, which things you're doing are towards a short-term hustle versus where are you investing in yourself and your skills and your learning and your knowledge and in your business plan for things that will be able to grow over time. And finally, I want to tell you about my class. So I have a class called Amazon Gateway. It's $29 and it goes over all the basics of starting an Amazon business. I also talk a little bit about eBay and some of the other options out there so that you can just kind of know the landscape. So it's only $29. It's at scannersociety.com/classes. I also have a free program called Winning on Amazon, which is just its resources. It's books and videos and things like that, that you can, it's more a little more senior. So I'd say do Gateway first, start selling, and then go to Winning on Amazon, watch those videos. And then finally, I want to share with you some advice that I gave recently to somebody who wanted to start their own FBA business. So she asked me, she said, okay, I've got like $10,000 set aside. What should I do? And I said, okay, take 9,500 of those dollars and leave them in the bank. Take 500 and take $400 and go spend it on arbitrage. So use your phone, scan stuff, spend as long as you can spend until you can find stuff that will sell for at least 3 times what you paid for it, $400. Take $100 and go do the same thing, but at thrift stores. Buy thrifted items, yard sales, and sell those on eBay. And then take, however, that's it. So now you've spent your $500. You've got $100 worth of used goods and $400 worth of new products, and sell it. Sell that stuff. Sell it on Amazon, sell it on eBay, and learn how to sell. That will teach you how to sell. You can take a class, you can work with a mentor or a guru, you can be in a community. These are all incredibly valuable things you can do, but none of them will take away the learning that needs to happen just from doing it. So sell those $500 worth of stuff. At the end of it, see how much you made. And resist the urge to keep buying more stuff, because that's where we get into trouble, because we keep buying more stuff before we really understand the business. So limit yourself, $500 max, and that's it. And then sell it and see what you think. Do you like it? Is it fun? Is it exciting? Is it something you want to do more of? Is it a pain? Is it difficult? Is it challenging? Is this not the business for you? Either way, you've learned something both about how to make money and how your own business entrepreneurial self works. So it's not the sexiest advice you're going to get out there. I don't think you should start off by importing. I don't think you should start off by doing a lot of new products, because I don't think most people who've never sold before really understand enough to be able to make smart buying decisions when they're selling for private label. So anyway, that's my advice. That selling on Amazon is still a great business model. It's much more of, I would say, a long-term business investment model versus a quick hustle. Please feel free to sign up for the Amazon Gateway class. It's a great class. I priced it so that there's just no reason why people can't do it. It's $29. Go through all the modules. If you want to join our community, we have an incredible community of professional Amazon sellers. It's $39 a month to be a member. But first, just take that first class and go through the modules, spend your $500 on inventory and sell that inventory and see what happens. All right, I would love to hear your comments, your feedback. What is your experience? What's your advice to people getting started? What are your questions? What would you like to know more about? Thank you so much. And no matter what we do with our business, we keep growing so that we can keep having the success that we all deserve. Thank you.